अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज की वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं वाइल्ड कार्ड्स। मोस्ट डेटाबेस हैव द फैसिलिटी टू यूज़ द wild cards to identify the word variants. Wild cards are characteristics that act as a proxy, a substitute for string of the characteristics. For example, database such as the Cochrane Library and PubMed always use the asterisk symbol to indicate that wild card. Thus, in these database, lump search for the word number, lumbosacral and lumbosacral wild cards are particularly useful when it is necessary to find a number of variants in the same system. Combining search terms with the and or, all major database can be searched by explicitly specifying more than one search term. For example, if you are interested in the recurrence of the dislocation after primary shoulder dislocation, you could search using two terms, shoulder and dislocation. This could yield a more efficient search than using either search term on its own. When more than one search term is used, it is necessary to specify how the search terms are to be combined. For two search terms, we need to specify whether we want to find studies that containant there of the search terms or as the preceding example of the search terms. For three or more search terms, we can specify whether we are interested in studies that contain any of the search terms or all of the search terms. To specify that we want to find studies that contain any of the search terms, we combine the search term with or. For example, if we were interested in studies of the lateral epicondylitis, we could specify epicondylitis or tennis elbow. Alternatively, to specify that we want to find studies that contain all of the search terms, we combine the search terms with and. For example, if we were interested in study of the effect of the use of the ultrasound for ankle sprains, we could specify the ultrasound and ankle. In general, we specify our OR when we want to broaden our search by looking for alternative key terms or synonyms for the key terms. We specify and when we want to narrow a search by mandating more than one key terms. The appropriate use of and or can greatly increase the sensitivity and specificity of the database searches. In most, not all database, it is possible to combine the multiple search term mixing both and or. In many database can also use not to refine our search. We use this to specify that we want to exclude studies containing specific terms. This might be a tempting way of leaving out irrelevant studies and narrowing our research by, but beware, using not can cause you to miss important studies. Going back to the example of the shoulder dislocation, we might be interested in specifically in studies on the shoulder dislocation in the children rather than adults, so we could search for not adults. By doing this, we would leave out all studies mentioning in the word adults. There may be studies of the shoulder dislocation in both children and adults. Such studies might be very relevant, but by searching for not adults, we would miss those studies. Using not to narrow your search is not recommended. Instead, try to think of another search term that should be mentioned in the study and add that to you search with and. In this example, we could and child. In the rest of the chapter, we shall consider specifically how to find evidence of the effects of the intervention, experiences, prognosis and accuracy of diagnostic test. We will depart from the order that we use in most of the book and consider the searching for evidence of experience last, because it is convenient first to discuss issues regarding search for prognosis and diagnostic accuracy before discussing searches for evidence of experiences. Using and or in general, and is used to mandate more than one search term, and or is used to search for other variant or synonym. We can illustrate how and or are combined using tables such as the key terms and or. synonym 1 or synonym 2. Here is the key term 1 and key term 2. So if you didn't get any point regarding that, can ask me in comment section. Thank you so much for watching the video.